The 2023 NFL Draft may be in the books, but for us insatiable draftniks, draft season never ends, so we're going to take a look at the top 10 running back prospects for 2024 in this video. Once again, this is based on projections, meaning it isn't the top 10 running backs in college football this year, but rather the top 10 potential NFL prospects for 2024. That said, this video should serve as a guide for which players to keep an eye on this upcoming season. If you enjoy the video, please subscribe for more because we will be going through each position group before the season starts. So let's dive into these rankings for running backs. At number 10, I have Kamar Wheaton out of SMU, and this is a bit of a risk to start out the video. Wheaton has all of 62 college carries to his name because he couldn't get playing time at Alabama and the SMU backfield was crowded, so there's a lot of projection going on here. That said, Wheaton has a lot of upside this upcoming season, starting with his absolutely blazing speed. He may be the fastest player on this list, but without combine 40 times, that is a guess. We also have to make note of his amazing moves in open space. Dude is a legit home run threat. He will need to earn his carries this season, but if he can handle a larger workload, he could hear his name called early next April. At number 9, we have Devin Neal out of Kansas, and this guy has had a long and productive career for someone who hasn't even turned 20 yet. I'm a little hesitant about this ranking for two reasons. Firstly, Neal is one of the slower players on this list, and second, I'm not sure if he's going to attempt a career in baseball instead. Still, if he's going to commit his life to football, there is a lot to like about him. He's built well and possesses great vision. He's particularly effective when bouncing to the outside and creating big plays in the process. He's also an asset in the passing game, though mostly on screens. He's likely a late round pick, but that's good enough for 9th in this class. At number 8, we have Will Shipley out of Clemson. He's one of those guys who split carries last season and has a real chance to shine with an increased workload. He's a dual threat running back, being a true asset as a pass catcher. He would often line up in the slot to maximize his usefulness there, and boy does this guy have moves. He is great in space with his phenomenal acceleration. In closer quarters, at the very least, he has the mentality to always be fighting for extra yards. His upside is a little limited in my opinion. He can't really pass block, so it's hard to see him getting much work in third down situations, and he had a bit of a fumbling problem last year. Still, a solid enough prospect to be number 8 on this list, with the potential to climb. At number 7, we have Jarquez Hunter, and this is a guy I'm really excited about. With Tank Bigsby gone, you have to think Hunter is going to rack up a lot of touches, although almost entirely in the running game, as his pass protection and pass catching abilities are lacking. However, as a runner, and with the ball in his hands, he has serious talent. He keeps his pads nice and low through contact, which should really help his longevity at the shortest tenured position. He is going into his first season in a new system, so we will have to see how he acclimates, but the sky is the limit for this guy. At number 6, we have Donovan Edwards from Michigan, which might surprise you because he is clearly the number 2 guy in his own backfield, and we will get to the number 1 guy in a moment. But Edwards, in my mind, has just as much upside as Blake Corum. Edwards is bigger, for one thing, and is a much better player in the passing game. As a pure running back, he has good speed and good vision, but admittedly he goes down too easily on first contact, which is something he needs to work on if he wants to earn himself a high draft pick, because being behind Corum, he won't get too many opportunities to show off what he can do. Speaking of Corum, here he is at number 5. Blake is definitely on the smaller side, but he's built like a tank and can take hits like it. Jim Harbaugh raves about this guy for a reason. He has improved every single year of his career and just came off a season of elite production in 2022. When you watch how sharp his cuts are and his ability to make guys miss in space, it's easy to see why. A couple of concerns I have about him are his lack of ability in the passing game, as well as the fact that in terms of carries, this guy already has a lot of mileage on him. Combine that with his size, and it's not hard to think he might have a rather short NFL career. At number 4, we have the guy who may be the second coming of Derrick Henry, Braylon Allen. This guy is massive at 6'2", 235, and he plays like it. He is borderline impossible to bring down one-on-one, and he is a violent runner between the tackles. He's easily the best short yardage running back on this list. There are a couple of problems with him that rise above the level of nitpick, though. He definitely doesn't have top-end speed, and he isn't a factor in the passing game at all, and he had a bit of a fumbling issue last year. Regardless, there are very few guys in the world this big, fast, and strong, so you have to imagine Allen is going to have another great season for Wisconsin this year. At number 3, we have Trey Benson out of Florida State, and this is the guy I am projecting the most on. He really couldn't get on the field at Oregon, which isn't a good sign, but once he transferred to Florida State, he enjoyed a breakout season. He was part of a committee approach, but he should get more carries this season, giving off a chance to show off his amazing elusiveness. This guy is absurdly fast, with great stop and start ability. Once he is in space, he is very difficult to get a hand on, let alone bring down. He can also handle third down duties, as he is an excellent pass protector. He can also return kicks, which is a nice bonus. At number 2, we have another behemoth at the position, Raheem Sanders out of Arkansas. This guy has the size and strength to be a true bruiser. He maintains excellent balance even when being hit by massive guys. He has fantastic vision for a north-south runner and can cut on a dime. On top of all of that, he is a killer pass protector. The only thing keeping him from the top of this list is the fact that he isn't a true dual threat weapon. He got some action in the screen game, but apart from that did not particularly participate in the passing game, a limitation that will be judged harshly by NFL scouts. If he can develop that part of his game this upcoming season, he could find his way into the first round. And finally, at number 1, no surprise, it's TreVeyon Henderson out of Ohio State. This is a do-it-all kind of back. He runs well between the tackles, he runs well to the outside, he runs well in open space, he is a fantastic patch catcher, etc., etc. He was elite as a freshman 2 years ago, and unfortunately broke his foot last year. It will be interesting to see how well he can play with all of the offensive line talent that just left Ohio State for the NFL. But as of right now, Henderson is by far the most complete back in the class, and an almost certain first rounder if he can return to his freshman year form. And that's the video. If there's any names you think I missed and should check out, let me know in the comments section. Thanks for watching, and peace out.